Hi, Jen.
Welcome, One More Gamers, One More Game podcast, episode 44 on the 4th of May, 2023. May the 4th be with you, Swift.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I'm just so excited to be back.
It,
It's been a
it,
little while. We missed everybody.
it's been a good, at least a month, and then we only did one episode, and then a month before that. So,
Yeah,
we're figuring things out. But I will tell you guys that there are some big things on the horizon for One More Game podcast. We've made a vow to, not go that long with a break anymore. So, as you can see, ImPickleMatt is going to be a late joiner tonight. But that's okay. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get into it. We're One More Game podcast, and we talk video games, the industry, reviews, games we've played, things we're excited about, and we'd love to have you guys join us every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/OMG podcast. If you're listening to this on podcast, so sweet, dude. What's been going on in your world while we've been amiss?
dude. We redid our backyard, which is super
Oh,
exciting. We got some turf laid. Other than that, just been flying, simming. Missed every Thursday night doing the pod. But to be honest, I haven't played too many games recently. I've been in kind of one of those slumps that I feel like most gamers probably experience. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but every once in a while I go through a slump where it's not really a driving factor in my day, and I just want to chill on the couch instead.
yeah, I'm sure everyone can relate with that. What I've noticed since I've had kids is when I'm not gaming, it's when I'm not doing this podcast on the regular, I'm not gaming as much. So this podcast almost drives me to. I'm curious to see if we start keeping this thing going like we normally have in the past. If I start
That
actually gaming more.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me to once like now that we're back to all of a sudden have the drive again to get through some games. But yeah, I've had no drive recently.
Yeah. Well, same, dude. I've been doing a lot of stuff with the kids. We're doing two sports for both kids right now at the same time, so there's not a whole lot of free time. And any gaming that I'm doing is kind of on my Steam Deck like, right before bed. So, but we'll talk about that later. With that, as our show typically does, we typically first jump into the news for the week slash month that we've missed slash 2 months. All right, so Swift's a little frozen there. We'll see if he comes back. But first up on the docket, so we've been covering this for the last, call it 7 to 9 months. But there you are. But officially, Microsoft's merger or slash acquisition of Activision Blizzard King has been denied in the United Kingdom. So this is probably the first major thing that this deal has reached. $68 billion on the line, and I cannot imagine with a whole market of gamers in the UK, which is a pretty big gaming market, not being a viable option. I don't see this thing continuing forward in any sort of way. But did you see this recently? Did you have any thoughts about it since we've been covering this for so long?
Yeah, I saw it got denied. Honestly, like I don't know. Again, kind of like the just gaming in general. This kind of dropped off my radar, and I think you sent the text to the group, and I was like, oh, okay, that was it.
That was it. If I had to guess, the reason I think this is probably going to be denied is, at least in the UK, I know mobile gaming is pretty big in the UK. And what everyone kind of forgets about this merger is that it includes King, which is the company that makes Candy Crush and a bunch of other mobile games. If you really look at the numbers, the true
Oh
dollar
yeah.
bills value of gaming is in the mobile market, just because every single person who has a phone probably a game or two on their phone. And so that would basically give Microsoft a pretty large monopoly in the mobile gaming market. Probably what there's been a bunch of quotes coming out from those
Yeah.
poor uh, CEOs and whatnot at Xbox, kind of whining about it and saying this is the darkest day in my time at Xbox, and it's like, oh, wah, dude, you're literally printing money. So it's hard for me to feel bad for you, but
Yeah, just printing money for yourself and your company.
right. So if you've been keeping track, there you have it. Microsoft's officially denied in the UK. We'll see what happens, and I do think that the slimy leader of Activision, Bobby Kotick, said that it's far from over, which he literally has no hand in any of this. But he never misses an opportunity to be a scumbag. But we'll see.
Well, I missed a little bit of that because I froze, but don't they have a chance to appeal or no? Is it over for UK?
I think it's legitimately over. I think they already had their chance
Oh,
to
okay.
appeal, and that was the
Okay.
kind of final. But I could be wrong on that. We can check into that. But we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens going forward. But honestly, I'm starting to think this is probably a good thing for the gaming community because the more I think about what Microsoft has with Game Pass, and the more I think about them starting to buy up all these other companies, probably the worse it will be for the economy of it overall. But
Yeah.
all right, well, moving on, Swift. We haven't got to cover this since it happened, but the Diablo 4 beta has come and gone. They're also doing something called the Server Slam next weekend, I believe, where they want you
Yep.
to come out and everyone to try to log in, which I think already happened anyways during the beta.
Yeah. When I had to wait 3 hours to log
Yeah.
into the beta, and then it crashed, and then I had to wait another 2 hours, I think we accomplished the server slam.
So now, I don't get it, dude. They're telling you everyone to come out and like challenge their servers when I know their servers can't handle it already. Whatever.
Dude, I don't know. It's been a few weeks. Maybe they made some big upgrades, but I highly doubt it. I feel like we're gonna deal with the same thing.
Yeah. Some cool news I did see about kind of what they learned from the beta is they're changing a lot of stuff. There's a whole wide list of things you can check out when it comes to things that are getting changed. One thing that I saw was that I don't know if you played the Necromancer, but the skeletons had this like blue glow around them, the skeletons that you like summoned, and it looked kind of
Yeah.
cheesy, cartoony, I thought, compared to the rest of the game.
I did not play Necromancer because when I logged on the first, because what, it was 2 weekends, right?
Yeah.
The beta.
Yeah, there
Um,
was the closed beta, then the open beta.
so the closed beta, the Necromancer was not available. And
Right.
then I logged in the second weekend and all of my friends were playing Necromancer. And I was like, well, we don't need 5 Necromancers. So I'm just not even gonna
But
bother.
we do.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So
Steve
I did
Feezy
not
says, "Welcome
really
back,
see that.
dudes, in the chat. Good to have you here in the chat, man. It's good to be getting this thing going again."
Yeah. It's been a wild ride, but we're back.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyways, the beta I thought was awesome.
yeah. We had a
Uh,
great time.
like a lot of lag issues, which you would expect with kind of any beta.
Right.
Um, some of the classes are super underpowered compared to others, i.e., Necromancer is super OP, and the Druid is one of the worst things I've ever played in my history of gaming. It was so painful. I gave up at like level 2. I was like, nope, not doing this.
Yeah, I think they said it was like severely underpowered. So we'll see if
Yeah.
they make some changes to that. But I'm excited, man. I don't think I'll bother with the server slam, but I think we're definitely going to be in there come June.
Yeah, once June hits, hopefully they have things figured out. I most certainly will not spend 3 hours waiting to log in.
Negative.
Yeah.
But we will be talking more Diablo here in about call it 30 minutes. But let's move on. So Tears of the Kingdom gameplay has released. Did you watch any of that kind of guided gameplay they did?
I did not.
Okay, it was sort of cool. It was sort of very Nintendo-y in the way that they kind of described what was going on. But
What do you mean?
you know how when Nintendo does like playthroughs of things, it's like got this translated Japanese voice dub over that's like, now I'm gonna pick up the stick. And so,
Yeah.
what does this do? And they're like narrating it as they're playing. It's kind of
Yep.
cheesy and hard to watch, but the game has some really cool mechanics going on, and I'm really kind of excited to check it out, especially with Liam, because it's almost got like I call it like a Minecraft sort of vibe going on to it, because you can pick things up and fuse them together. I think the ability is called fuse. So, for example, you could take 4 logs that you had chopped down of trees and fuse them with this ability, and it would make a raft. And so
Oh, cool.
Link can now put that raft in the water and like ride it. So it had some
Yeah,
cool stuff going on.
that's cool.
Well, if you get a chance, check that out. But let's move right along to the Mario movie. I know Swift told me in their pre-talk before we started this thing, he still hasn't seen it, which is
I
sacrilegious
haven't.
to me. But
I know.
I'm gonna fly out there to Arizona and force you to go to the movies with me. But
Dude,
all
I
right,
want to
so
see it.
I watched it with literally like 16 kids in the group of families that we hang out with here. We all took our kids to the same IMAX theater in Columbia and watched it. And you want to talk about just feel good feels, just watching all these kids just like, yeah, Yoshi. Like, it was great.
Yeah. Obviously I haven't seen it, so no spoilers, but my sister texted me because they got my oldest nephew a Switch, 2 years ago, and he's been loving Super Mario Odyssey. And she asked me if I had seen it, and I said, no, sadly I haven't. I want to go see it. And she was like, I literally cried like 4 times because of just nostalgia type stuff. I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, it'll
oh
hit you,
man,
dude. It's great.
I love that.
Which leads me to the point that all these like film critics, people who think that they're like high and mighty in the art of film world, we're just writing these like scathing, boring plot, super predictable. I'm like, you're going to see a movie about a video game that literally almost has
Yeah.
no plot.
Also, the game was made in like what, the 80s?
Right.
Come on. We know the plot.
He
Like
literally jumps over stuff and
he
saves the princess, but
he
never
saves the
really saves
princess.
her.
Yeah. Come on. This just goes to prove like, and again, I haven't seen it, so I can't talk too much trash on critics, but just in general, I always feel like critics, like these are the people that vote for like Golden Globe awards and the Oscars, where you watch, and I don't watch those shows, but I know who wins it based on just chat around, the
Right.
neighborhood, the wives, everything. And some of these movies that win, you've never even heard of
Yeah.
because
It's
they're
silly.
artistic and they're whatever, and it's like, no, I just want a movie that's entertaining to me, which Mario is.
Exactly. I don't need my movies, every single one of the movies I watch, to like advance humanity and
Right.
cover like current political and socio-economical issues.
Yeah.
I want to watch one of my favorite video game characters sometimes look like he's in a video game and jump over like obstacles. Like there's parts of the movie where it just transitions to like he's platforming and running like almost 2D across this course, and it looks so cool and fun, and
Yeah.
it's just
I
like,
I love it.
yep. Improper Pearl Culture says Sisu was amazing. Nazi hunting. I don't know. Is that a recent film? Check it out. Anyways,
Yeah. You
thanks for
bet. I'll
thanks for
get
joining
right on
us,
that.
Pearl Clutcher, in the chat. It's good to have you back. And if you haven't seen the Mario movie, check it out because it's breaking all kinds of records for animated films. It's for sure one of my favorite 3D animated films already, and I've only seen it once. Check it out. Okay, cool. Let's see. Swift, as an Air Force member, were you required to do some sort of mandatory security training recently?
I sure was.
Well, why was that?
Well, I don't know. It seems like there were some leaks
Yeah,
with
turns out
secret slash top secret information.
if you're in the market for top
Uh,
secret information, go ahead and pull up Discord, join the Minecraft Discord, and there you have it. You can get battle
yeah,
plans for the war in the Ukraine.
there it is.
Yeah, so if you're
If you
not
have, if you
tracking
have
what we're talking
questions, hit
about,
us up.
yeah, apparently some airman type fellow in the Air Force was able to access top secret documents and release them onto a Discord server, I guess to impress the bros. I don't really know. But I'm just kind of mind boggled as to how he got that on off of what he got it off of and onto what he got it onto, but whatever. So that
Yeah.
highlighting gaming in a positive way.
He just has a photographic memory and he read a brief or something and just typed it all out on Discord, I guess.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know.
But yeah, everyone in the Air Force was required to take a mandatory training because of that. So just remember this, folks, when you're thinking about doing the same type of thing. Loose lips sink ships, okay?
That's right. Also, that's important, but don't waste my time having to do mandatory training on CBTs and PowerPoint slides because you're an idiot.
Very nice. Very nice. I hope you got some street cred. But speaking of, I don't know, OPSEC, reporters have been reported to be currently using Counter-Strike to deliver news about the war in Ukraine to Russians. So Russia has been so tight, iron curtain, if you will, on the media within their country about what's going on in the Ukraine so that they don't look like bad guys, obviously. And so reporters have been able to kind of pass along information using the encrypted secure communications available through Counter-Strike CSGO. So this isn't the first time I've heard about something like this. I know back in the day, ISIS was using Xbox Live to kind of coordinate some stuff.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? I think it's kind of cool that no matter what evildoers do, they can't stop the freedom from filtering through video game channels.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess until it's our secrets, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, good on them, I guess, because Russia is the bad guy in this instance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty objective
Yeah, just thought I'd bring it up just because
or
it was so closely
subjective, I
aligned
guess.
with the other news topic. But we'll move on. We'll move on. Swift, how do you think PlayStation 5 is doing these days when it comes to like selling?
Probably not. I don't know. I know that they like I feel like you can get them these days in the store, but I still feel like they're way behind where they were expecting to be based on the, microchip shortage and all the things.
Yeah, so they did just post some numbers. This last fiscal year, if you will, was their most successful so far. I think they sold something like 19 million units, and their plan is to sell 38 million units this year. That's their goal, at least, which would actually make it a better selling year than PlayStation 2. So I'm not quite sure if I see that happening. They'd have to come out with probably a couple more big time games, I think, for that to happen. But that's
Yeah.
their goal. So if you're a PlayStation fan, you should see that. I don't think PlayStation VR 2 is going to be the thing that drives those sales that high. So I'm I'm wondering if we're going to see some kind of announcement from Sony about a new big game.
I so what you said 2022 was their best year to
Yeah,
date.
19 point something, which I think it's only been out for what, 2-3 years now, with the first year being supply chain problems.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I haven't done too much of a deep dive into consoles being sold, but saying that 19 million consoles sold is your best year to date doesn't really ring like it doesn't really give me that much faith, I guess, because the first 2 years that they were selling almost nothing, right? I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
so cool.
Good on you. Good on you.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it. That's mostly the news that we've kind of missed out over the last few weeks/months of gaming, but we'll be sure to bring you some more stuff, and you can always check out our Twitter at OMG_podcast GG for more up-to-date information on the gaming news. But with that, we'll move into the games radar for the Wii. All right, dude. Coming up first is a little game called Darkest Dungeon 2. If you played Darkest Dungeon, it's legitimate dungeon crawler, if you will. And the second one's coming out on May 8th, only for PC. Swift, did you ever play Darkest Dungeon? It had a whole bunch of popularity with streamers.
No, I sure did not.
Oh, I want to try it, but it's just one of those games that I feel like I would need to be in the right mindset for. The art style is super cool, and it's kind of, call it Dungeons and Dragony, party kind of dungeon stuff going on,
Okay.
and very RPG like. But it comes out on the 8th of May, so if you're a big fan of Darkest Dungeon, you're gonna have. I think Craig likes this, at least the first one. Jumps in there. There you have it, 8th of May. Swift, you know about any other games coming out within the next week or so?
Oh yeah, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom
Oh,
on May 12th.
I don't know if that's
I
accurate.
think it's Tears, but you could read it either way. But yeah, May 12th on the Switch, baby.
Yeah, I was this close, Swift, to buying the OLED version of the Switch to play this game on it.
Just, yeah.
Because I did.
Wow.
I mean, I do knock the Breath of the Wild as like not my favorite Zelda game, but I had a lot of fun when the Switch first came out on this game, Breath of the Wild, at least.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same as you. I didn't think Breath of the Wild was really even top tier as far as Zelda games that I've played. But you're right. I mean, on the Switch is nice. I really actually do want to play this game, Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah,
just to see, you know.
same. I'm hoping the dungeons are better because Zelda games are known for. Oh, ImPickleMatt. Tell us about
He's
yourself, MFer. We'll see if he can get his stuff figured out.
He's going through some technical difficulties.
It'll take him a minute, but we'll give him a thumbs up when he's cleared hot. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. Damn it! Now you got me saying it.
Gotcha.
Comes out next week, May 12th, and there's the Master Sword, which is all I care about. But if it breaks, I'm gonna be pissed.
Wait, it can break?
It didn't. Well, it didn't break in the Breath of the Wild, but it. What do you want to say about it? It ran out of energy, so you had to get it repaired.
Oh, got it.
All right. Well, there's the games.
What's up, nerds?
Oh, ImPickleMatt. Dude, welcome.
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
Tell us at least one comment on each of the categories that we've talked about so far.
All right. Categories of things. Diablo 4 beta. Yo, did we see the Super Mario Brothers movie or what?
Nope.
I did. You and me did. This kid in the middle did not. But, I got to fix the cameras. They're all jacked
Get
up.
on that.
You two talk about something while I fix that, please.
Yeah, I need to. We talked about it. I have been slacking, but I'll get there.
I think it passed $1 billion the other day.
No
Charlie, I listened to Charlie Day on a podcast this week, and he talked about it briefly. He was pitching his other movie that's coming out, but they said he was paying him in gold Mario coins.
Who did Charlie Day play in the movie?
Luigi.
Oh, okay.
Luigi.
Yeah.
You just got a Luigi.
Nice.
Did you guys see I found the Super Mario Brothers cartoon from like the 1980s on Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I saw that in the Discord or wherever you sent it. I might check that out. I used to watch that a lot as a kid.
It's a ridiculous show.
They had a silly song in it. Swing your hips to the Mario. Do 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 do. Yeah.
The show doesn't make sense. It like tries to be like an action cartoon and then also a Mario thing. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. But what'd you think of it, dude?
I really liked it. I thought it was. I think when I read the reviews of it, I think that complaints are kind of valid, but there wasn't a moment in the movie where I was not enjoying it, so I had no complaints at all. And my son, my 3-year-old, liked it a lot.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Watching my kid just never have I seen him so infatuated with a movie. And then
Yeah.
all the nostalgia bumps that I got from it were great.
Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs in there for the older gamers, but I think they left it open for a lot of movies, and I mean they made $1 billion, so they'll probably be making more.
Yeah, no shot that they don't continue to expand their cinematic. What are we gonna call it? The NCU, Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
I
Dude,
hope so. That'd be
I
awesome.
love whoever posted that picture of the timeline. Or it was like, the
Oh,
Zelda
yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
the
Luigi's Mansion.
Yoshi Island, Luigi's Mansion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie Day
please.
said he wanted a Luigi's Mansion movie, which makes sense if you're the actor playing Luigi for your.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of that'd be good for your career, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean those games are probably the most story, like start to finish story of any Mario Universe game I've ever played.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what else. But let's get your final thoughts on this Microsoft Activision Blizzard denial in the UK, PickleMatt. What are your?
Oh, we still talking about this?
What happened? It's been 7 to 9 months since we started this journey.
I bet they spin off. I think they're just gonna start spinning off. They'll fight as hard as they can. They'll just spin off like Activision UK is just or whatever it is just gonna be like they'll just shotgun it out back and then tell everybody to get a job in France or wherever is the closest place.
So I know that Call of Duty is massive in the UK, and one of the things I saw is that you remember right before this thing went to all these different agencies, Microsoft made a deal with Nintendo that Call of Duty would be on Switch for the
On
next
the
10
Switch.
years.
Yeah.
And in the UK thing that came out in the denial recently, they basically said that the Switch is not technologically capable of making that happen, so that they did not see that as grounds for like middle ground for this deal to happen.
Yeah. Well, I find it funny that the government is very concerned about Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft joining, but JP Morgan and all the big banks are just eating up a bunch of smaller banks, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
the entire like world economy.
Well, I have a lot of family members now that I've married my wife in California, and they all banked with a certain bank,
Oh
and
no.
that bank went away, and they're like, "Well, I think it'll be fine. I think JP Morgan is gonna buy them. Hopefully, we'll be fine." I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Should have
But,
bought
you know-
Should have bought Dogecoin, dude.
We don't want to.
Yeah,
we don't want a
right.
video game oligopoly, but I tell you
Right.
what, if there's just 4 banks controlling the world economy, that's fine.
Yep.
Everything's fine, dude. Everything's fine.
All right, PickleMatt, Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th. You getting that, Johnny?
Oh, absolutely. I need mobile gaming for my lifestyle right now. That'll be perfect.
You own
Yeah.
a Switch, yeah?
I own a Switch OLED because I'm
Nice. Okay.
a badass.
Yeah,
You should have
I
said
do
because
too.
I'm
'cause-
amazing.
Yes,
All
sure.
right, Dad. Dad joke.
All right. Well,
I loved the first one, and you guys poo poo it a lot, but I
we
thought it was
just
great.
talked about this. We don't poo-poo it. It's just not our favorite Zelda game. I had a great time playing Breath of the Wild. It's just not my favorite one.
So we haven't discussed this much, but I don't think I haven't played a Zelda start to finish besides Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time.
What in the world just happened to him? He just
I
got
have no idea.
he just got taken by the ring girl. Well, anyways, if we get him back, I hope we do. But his Elgato stuff is messing up. All right. Well, that
Yeah.
is the news and the games radar for the week. Like I said, it wouldn't be an episode of OMG podcast without PickleMatt having technical difficulties.
Especially now, now that we're back. We took a break, so everyone's a little rusty.
But if there's a game that you're excited about, want to hear about on the games radar, let us know. Reach out to us, OMG_podcast GG on Twitter or Instagram, or you can send us an email at omgpodcastgg@gmail.com. game recommendations, things we missed, stuff that we're actually just a little straight up lying to you about, let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord, OneMoreGame Discord. Swift is going to post that in the chat when he gets a chance.
Yes, sir.
And we're also posting you the invite link for that Discord on the description for the podcast. We'd love to have you guys join a community of gamers excited to talk about the industry, technology, and just play games together sometimes when we get the chance. On there, you'll also find a category called Sweet Pickles, where ImPickleMatt, the guy currently AWOL from this thing, he posts some things in there where you can find some sweet deals on gamer gear, games, free games. So right now, if you go in there, you'll find Aliens Fireteam Elite, which has actually got some pretty good reviews, is free with an IGN Plus sub, which is actually only $1 to subscribe to that currently. So basically, you get a free game, like a $30 game for $1 a month. So go check that out. Some cool news for us, which I completely forgot to get a picture of, but
I'll post it
while I work on it. OMG Podcast has officially partnered up with Swift Lifestyles Energy Supplements, and you can find our official OMG Podcast inspired energy supplement. And it's got a cool purple label and everything. It's so cool. And I can't find it anywhere. But you can head over
if you're
to...
in the chat, I just posted it.
There it is. You can
That'll bring you the direct link.
SwiftLifestyles.com, and you can buy yourself one of these. A tub of One More Game podcast inspired reaction. They sent me a free tub of this when we set this up with them, and it's awesome. It gets you focused, great for gaming sessions without getting all kind of jitters and weird, just heart palpitations like a lot of other energy supplements. So pretty cool. You can use the code OMGPod10 on their website, and that'll give you 10% off for that, and it supports the podcast if that's something that you want to do. All right.
If you're listening, just go to www.swiftlifestyles.com/product/one-more-game, and that will bring you right to our inspired Reaction Plus energy compound.
Very nice. Good work there. As I fix these cameras again, Swift. Let's just jump into the major topic for the week. All right. This week, we're talking, in preparation for Diablo 4, we're talking about the devil himself, Diablo. The game, the history of it, where it came from, our memories of it, and what we're excited about coming up here in the near future. So as we just dive right in here, Swift, let's stay a while and listen as we talk about the origins of Diablo, our memories of the game or lack thereof, and experiences, and kind of what we're ready for, where we're ready to see this franchise go. So let's hit it with the baseline. Where do you stand, Swift, with Diablo?
As far as like total games played, or am I excited, or what exactly?
Well, let's say just in general, like, are you a big Diablo fan? Would you consider yourself like a huge Diablo player? Do you play when it comes out and kind of fall off of it? Where do you live?
I would consider myself a mediocre fan at best at this point. I know we have some gents in our Discord that love this game. They still play Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 to this day. I didn't get into Diablo until Diablo 3, and I played a bit with you and Easy. So we can chat about that in a little bit, but I didn't really dive in, as it were. You guys made me make a what's it called when if you die, you die again.
Hardcore character.
Yeah, you guys made me make a hardcore character, and you guys powered level me to like 50 something, and then I died, and I was just like, nope, done. Don't like this.
Never doing that again.
But then Diablo 4 came out, and played the beta, and overall, other than the lag issues, which we were expecting, the login times, I thought it was a great time. And I'm excited to play with the boys.
I'm excited to play more with you since you're kind of on the less experienced side of it. So you can see kind of the end game stuff is really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I plan on playing it once it comes out to completion, so to speak.
Nice. You missed it, PickleMatt, but we're talking Diablo. That's our major topic for the week.
Nice.
As I know about you, you're a relatively inexperienced Diablo gamer, which is surprising because I feel like it's right up your alley. Where do you stand? Let the listeners know kind of where does the franchise live in your gamer repertoire?
The first time I played Diablo was the beta a few weeks ago. So
Nice, perfect.
this game is going to literally kill me, probably. You're right. It's right up my wheelhouse, and I don't know. I'm afraid.
What character did you play in the beta?
I played Vala.
Okay, the assassin or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Ranged assassin.
Yeah. Nice.
I think I would want to be a necromancer, but it sounds like everybody wants to do that. So I want to be something different to help the team.
That's like, so I talked to our buddy Tony, and Taze, you and I used to play WoW with him when we were deployed. You probably never met him. He's Shift's buddy, and he was playing a druid, and I was like, dude, I don't know how you did that because it is so painful. But he was like, well, because I played a druid in all the previous Diablos. I'm not quoting per se, but he was like, plus everyone was being a necromancer. And I was like, yep. All right. So we got you as druid. I told him I'm going to be a sorceress because that was my main during the beta, which is typically my main mage of some sort. We got the necromancer. We need a tank of some sort, but I feel like we got a good mix of people.
Yeah, the good thing about Diablo, dude, is it actually really doesn't matter. Like, everyone could be the same thing. It doesn't really matter. There are synergies that work well, but it's not like WoW where there's always got to be a tank kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Anyone can tank.
Anyone can be a tank. Well, let's just hit some of the history real quick, as we've been known to do on the show. So Diablo 1 is probably the game that most people have never played. I will be honest. I tried to play it one time. You can download it on, I do believe, Good Old Games for free, and you play like a Flash version of it on a browser. But it was developed in 1997 on Windows and later actually on PlayStation, which is a little bit weird. But it was the brainchild of a guy named David Brevik with an American studios called Condor Games and Silicon and Synapse, which would later become companies known as Blizzard North and Blizzard South. So Diablo 1 really was kind of the birth of Blizzard, if you will. His goal was to make a roguelike type RPG that was more accessible, which Blizzard has been known to do, is make, MMO that was more accessible, World of Warcraft, right? Versus EverQuest or whatever. But he also used inspirations from games like NHL 94 as a model for selecting like your predetermined classes.
How wild is that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? And so it kind of simplified the gear and made things a little bit less RPG, like you need to study a book to figure this shit out, to anyone can pick up Diablo and kind of figure out what's going on. So this was the way for him to bring RPGs into the 90s, is what he said. So basically, at the time, the game was not planned to be a multiplayer experience, and then they started talking about making it an online type thing. So while Brevik and Blizzard North finished up the actual game
in the 90s,
Blizzard South began hacking away at what is now known as Battle.net. So they realized that no one at Blizzard North knew how to program anything multiplayer. So BattleNet is born, and to this day is what we use to play online games for Blizzard. So you could first ever in Diablo 1 be, can you guess what classes you were able to be? PickleMatt?
I bet the melee, the warrior probably. Yeah?
Yes.
Was it warrior? Yeah. I'm gonna say the bow and arrow, some sort of range, and then some sort of magic. You said there were 3 classes?
Yeah, 3 classes. Yep, you got it. So Rogue, which was kind of like mostly bows and arrows, daggers type stuff, and then Sorcerer, which should sound familiar because it's basically what we still can play, plus a few more.
Nice.
But yeah, dudes. So it's basically a game that none of us have ever played, but is considered one of the most influential RPGs of all time. Spawned a whole series, basically invented your hack and slash dungeon crawler asymmetric RPG type game genre, and it was released all the way back in '97.
I just looked at a screenshot or 2 of it, and there's a lot of indie games that you can download now that are retro style, and it looks a lot like Diablo 1. I don't know if Diablo 1 was the first to do it, but it certainly looks like it influenced a lot of those indie games that are coming out.
Yep. Oh, show. Swift, did you ever play it?
I sure did not.
You would have had to have been very in tune to early computers to be one of the people that played on Windows.
Dude, the only game I played back in that day was Age of Empires.
Doom.
Oh, Doom. Yep, I did play some Doom.
Oh,
There you
I
have
got
it. That's
the
the story of Diablo 1.
sidebar. I got the Doom, one of the soundtracks on my Tesla for the what's it called? The custom light show.
Horn. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's so cool. The like heavy metal Doom. And then if you play it in the garage when it's really dark, it looks awesome.
All right, folks. Now I've got the Diablo 2 music playing in the background. And if you ever played Diablo 2, it's one of the most memorable things is the music on the sign-in screen as you waited for BattleNet to log in. And so now let's talk a little bit about Diablo 2. So it's basically a direct story sequel to Diablo 1. It follows the events outside of Tristram. Tristram is this little town that you're in all during Diablo 1. And it even included a revisit to the location, which was kind of interesting because it also led to another funny thing about the game called the cow level. It's cited as one of the greatest games of all time. Diablo 2 goes through 5 acts, including an expansion, and included the craziest cinematics you had seen at the time, and told a much more dark and intense story than the first one. Swift, did you did play or did not play Diablo 2?
I think I dabbled for just a little bit. I never really got into it. The Diablo 3 is the first one where I like really kind of played.
I remember being over at my buddy's place. They had a PC, and he fired up StarCraft 1, and then I asked him what this game was. It was sitting on his desktop, and we played it for like 3 straight hours, and then I was like, I need this now. And this game is the reason.
To have this.
This game was the reason I was able to convince my parents to get a computer somehow.
Nice.
The Satan imagery demon one.
Yeah, that was the one. I forgot to mention my parents are. I don't even want to say it because
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so cool. Diablo 2, great time. And there was a point in time I remember playing and not really realizing that everyone I was seeing online was a real person. Like that's how crazy it was that it was always online.
Were you dialing into AOL at the time?
Yeah, it was 56K at the time.
Oh yeah.
Either that or it
I
was
remember
like
doing that.
Remember DSL?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had DSL not too long ago in a town that I didn't want to live in, but I remember doing BattleNet for Warcraft 2. I think that was probably around the same time. It's probably a little bit later, but Same thing, doing dial-up internet.
This is the game that they made Diablo 2 Resurrected after. Let's see. Trying to play one of the original cinematics for Diablo 2. Just so you can see how far things have come. But this might be from Resurrected, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it says Resurrected.
Yeah,
I bet it's
this
gonna be
looks
nicer.
insane.
Yeah.
Dude, so what, Diablo 2? Because Diablo 1 wasn't really online, was it?
No, it actually they tried, I think, and maybe did actually get it working at some point, but it wasn't. You were gone when we were talking about it, but while Blizzard North was finishing up Diablo 1, Blizzard South was essentially making Battle.net a
Battle.net,
possibility. Yeah.
Okay. But this is the first one that was actually designed to be an online game, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Di-
So you
This
oh,
was
go ahead.
David Brevik's. This was David Brevik's last Diablo game,
Correct.
apparently, and he also was a programmer on NBA Jam, which is super dope.
Dude,
That's all I had to add.
great game.
Good for
Yep.
him.
Yeah, things on fire in that game, things on fire in Diablo. It's all the same. Cool. All right, so this time we got a few more classes to play. So you had the Amazonian or Amazon Necromancer, Barbarian, Sorceress, Paladin, and later the Druid and Assassin when the expansion came out. And I remember the Druid just being one of the coolest things ever. When you turn into a bear, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Turns out they
I
did
mean,
not nail that this time. But
well, I mean, even in 4, the animations and everything of turning into a wolf and then or a bear, whatever it happens to be, are super cool. But the fact that you're melee and super underpowered is just like, meh, not for me.
yeah. Let's see. Yep, there was some improvements with the characters and progression and how inventory kind of worked, but it still suffered from some quality of life stuff. Like you literally had to click on every dropped pile of gold to pick it up, which in Diablo 3 and 4 they make it to where it's auto picked up. Yeah, you literally had to go.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
When games do that, I just don't understand why developers think that it's a good idea.
I
Maybe
just
back
think
then
it was the
they didn't have the
technology that they
programming.
had.
Yeah. But
'Cause-
nowadays, there's games like that too, though.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. There was an expansion release called Lord of Destruction where players went on to fight Baal. I really like the lore of Diablo. The storytelling is really cool. How it kind of introduces these evil lords of hatred and lies and all kinds of stuff. It's cool to kind of see how that works, but it does get a little confusing because I'm not sure what is ever going on with the angels and the demons.
Yeah, I don't know if this was in the Odyssey or whatever other book deals with Dante's levels of hell, but I don't remember reading any of this lore, so it is kind of hard to track who's who and who's fighting who and why or whatever.
It's like, and why are the angels kind of like bad too? I don't really.
Yeah.
It's like that one show that all the girls love, Supernatural. You ever watch Supernatural?
No.
Sure haven't.
Okay, don't. Anyway, moving on. I think he's gonna try to play another. Anyways, let's see. So yeah, this game was designed with online gaming in mind, and a second expansion was actually abandoned in 2003 as Blizzard North left the company. A lot of people know. And then, of course,
too bad for them because Blizzard went on to make $1 billion.
Right. The Guinness Book of World Records for the time, fastest selling PC game in 2000 ever. I don't know exactly how many units they sold, but it's no surprise because their PC games weren't really mainstream yet.
Which was actually surprising to me. If they weren't mainstream, Oh, I guess never mind. Fastest selling
Yeah.
PC game. Yeah. Okay. Tracking.
Cool. And then, of course, in 2021, we got better graphics, cinematic updates, and cross progression with Diablo 2 Resurrected, which still has many of our friends playing. Which I actually haven't fired that up. That's how you should play Diablo 2 there, PickleMatt. You'd probably like it.
I mean, we're getting pretty close to release of Diablo 4, so
You gotta catch up on all the lore. It's very important to the gameplay.
yeah. Is it like Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Xenomorphs or whatever they're. Anyways,
Dude, that game's awesome.
it is.
Shut your mouth.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
the story is super important though.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
super important.
Diablo 3 in 2012 on Windows and OS X, later for consoles, which was the first time that it was introduced with controllers, was cool. I remember my buddy Will Zarisk, as you guys know him. He literally built a PC the first time any of us had done that, and for the purpose of playing this game, we're in our
In
dorm
2012?
at the Air Force Academy,
No
staying up
kidding.
all night to midnight for this game to come out with like
Oh no.
homework due, and the launch happens and just terrible servers just crash.
No.
Never
And
log
that's
in.
how Zarisk failed out of the Air Force Academy.
Yep. Now he flies C-17s. Rip.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's living it up. Cool. Yeah, launch disaster. Error 37. Servers were full. Always online nature made connection quality a huge factor. If you lived in a dorm at the Air Force Academy, you could not play this game. So we had to go to his parents' house, who lived in Colorado Springs, to play.
No
You know what
kidding.
I did? You know what I did at the Academy to online game? I got Verizon Wireless's first 4G LTE phone and had a hotspot.
Hotspot. Nice.
That phone went through the ringer because it would heat up to about 140 degrees when it was hotspotting. And you can imagine, I put a lot of hours on that hotspot. So
It's
by the end of that, I
literally
think
a hotspot.
it was not a cell phone anymore. It was just a corded phone because the battery was gone.
Diablo 3 was kind of known for its quicker gameplay. It was much less dark than Diablo 2 and a lot more colorful and like silly things going on. You'll know what I'm talking about if you ever end up in the whimsy dale of that game. But there was no potion bar, and there were seasonal changes that kind of added big additions to the game every time the season changed, which is what I was going to mention to you guys. It's not necessarily a huge deal what class you play, because if you keep playing and the seasons will change, you'll try other stuff because they add new stuff to the game all the time. Change how abilities work, all kinds of stuff. And unlike their other games, they don't just stop supporting it. Cool. They did run into some. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna add. I remember when it released on the Nintendo Switch, and that was like kind of a big deal. And then not being a Diablo guy, I didn't realize that Diablo 4 by the time 3 by the time it released on the Switch was like 10 years old.
Yeah. People still play that game religiously to this day, and it's more than 10 years old.
Dude, Easy and Tiger get in there every new season to do endgame. They when it comes out, I just know to scoff them from my gaming schedule. Not that I've had one recently, but they are playing Diablo regardless of any other game that's out.
It just speaks to the quality of the game, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
people are still playing it as one of their main games, and it's that old.
Yeah.
Cool. They did have some little snafu with what they were calling the in-game auction house, where it was essentially a disaster that proof that you cannot mix in-game items with real-world currency. So they basically had it to where you could sell an in-game item for real money, and it lasted like 2 weeks and was so much corruption and fraud going on that they had to kill it. Which
I bet you could
shocked.
launder some money like that.
Yeah. Weird. Dude, I think I remember. I think it was Diablo 3 and then WoW were kind of the first ones to do it, where you could sell either your account because I remember people used to sell accounts early on in WoW days for thousands of dollars. And so I think it was Diablo 3 and WoW where you could sell, no kidding, game things, right? This artificial thing in a game for actual money. I didn't realize that Diablo 3 shut down so quick because people were taking advantage of it. But I know that used to be a huge thing.
Yeah. Plus, it's really hard to balance an in-game economy like that when people can just manipulate things very easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
What we
you
do
can,
with our banking system.
maybe that's why the UK banned it. Anyways,
Yeah.
the Barbarian, Demon Hunter, which is Vala, Monk, Witch Doctor, Wizard. Oh, the Witch Doctor is Nazebo, by the way. The Wizard,
Yeah.
the Crusader is Johanna. The Necromancer is Zool. And that came out in the Reapers of Soul expansion pack.
So I have a question about that. Are these like the heroes that we're about to play? If they still supported Heroes of the Storm, would they end up in Heroes of the Storm? Like, were those guys actually named Zool
No, they
in the
made up
game?
those names for Heroes of the Storm. They're just the classes from Diablo.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They
So
might
Nazebo
they
is not a
might
character in a different game.
no, but I think they
No.
refer to some of them. Like I do think Johanna gets referred to in like a piece of gear or something within the Diablo game.
Okay.
So there's some cool stuff ties in there. Yeah, so rough release initially, but still one of the highest played PC games 11 years after its launch. It sold 1.2 million copies just in the Blizzard WoW annual pass alone. Think about that. So Blizzard offered the game for free if you purchased a 1-year annual pass subscription to World of Warcraft, which would
Oh,
How much is that?
really?
yeah. So just that alone, they
I mean,
sold
it's
1.2 million copies.
$14.99.
So it's
$14.99 a month.
they probably
I don't
gave
know.
it to you for a prorated like deal for the whole year. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming it was somewhere around $120 for the year. Times 1.2 million alone.
Yep. Printing money.
Jeez.
Cool. And then also 6.4 million within the first week of Diablo 3 release. Just normal copies. So there you have it. Diablo 3, one of the most dominant and well received, although it took some time for people to kind of accept the game as what it is now, but
Well, didn't it go through, because I know you said it was a rough release, but didn't it go through some growing pains where it was like bad and then good and then bad and then now it's good again?
yeah, it does. It
What
kind
was
of
the
does
reason for
that.
that?
It does that with the seasonal stuff too. But I think the original main reasons why it was bad was it was just kind of generally boring and easy when it first came out. There wasn't enough like difficulty, and then they changed how you haven't. I don't know if you remember what they're called, but they're called rifts, where you go in and do
Yeah.
like rifts and greater rifts. They changed how that whole system works, so it took them a while to kind of find the right end game loop that you play over and over again.
Okay. So it's kind of like Lost Ark in that space
Right.
where you go to rifts and do like little dungeons or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
I
And
can't imagine that's easy to figure out as a developer anyway. Like,
no, that's got to be
I
Yeah,
wouldn't fault
no.
them for that.
You have to iterate. The only way to do it is for people to iterate over and over again.
Right.
Well, cool. And now we move on to Diablo 4, which comes out on June 6th, 2023. So close. It was. When do you think this was announced? How long ago?
It
Well, the
feels
mobile
like a
game was
long time
announced.
ago.
Yep.
Wasn't the mobile game announced like 3 years ago? And then that was the expectation of getting Diablo 4, right?
So they actually, I think, announced them at the same time. And the reason they screwed up so badly was because all they did was show like a thing that said Diablo 4 in development, and then they played right after that,
A
or even
Diablo
maybe
the
before
phone
that,
game.
they played
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal,
Oh.
and people were just like, "Is this an April Fool's joke?" No shit, that's what they said.
So
Yeah.
what would that have been like 3 years ago?
It was 4 years
2
ago,
years ago?
2019.
Oh wow.
at BlizzCon, which no longer exists. But cool. So they've said so far that it's more grounded in story with a focus on the characters and the narrative, which yeah, I guess that I could see that since we played the beta, but a much darker tone than Diablo 3. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it literally seems like everything is like a slightly different shade of brown or gray so far.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does seem like that.
I'm wondering if that's part of the like first act, like they want you to feel like you're in this gross dredge area. I don't know. And we'll see if we move up into some cooler stuff. But
Was Diablo 3 more colorful? You said more whimsical.
yeah, way more like bright magical colors going on.
I bet they're saving some like angel crazy awesome swoop in or something
Yeah.
that makes the game different.
But I will say the intro cinematic is one of the darkest things I've ever seen. The way they're
Yeah, that was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
impressive.
But it was awesome.
it was cool. Cool. The barbarian, sorceress, rogue, necromancer, and druid. And also, it's the first time we've ever been able to customize what our character looks like physically in any Diablo game,
Which also, in my opinion, means nothing because you're at this
I
third
don't care
person,
anymore.
this third person
Zoomed out, yeah.
perspective, like zoomed out. Like what? Really?
I've never cared about that stuff. It surprises me that so many people do. But
The only time I did is when
people
I
spend
played
a lot of
Elden
time.
Ring.
People
say,
spend a
Pickle?
lot of time on their characters, and then you add in. Did Diablo 3 do like cosmetics? Because if cosmetics are a thing, that's the big money maker.
Yeah, I mean the end game of most RPGs is transmog cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like
this is what I
like
do.
Swift said, cosmetics when you're zoomed out that far is just the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. Like you see it when you log in. That's the only time you see your character.
Not even cosmetics. Cosmetics is fine if you have dope armor that you can see. Cool. If you design a face, if you spend
Yes,
45
a
minutes
face.
designing a face and your character's wearing a helmet that you don't see, like
Well,
the
not
face,
even
what are
just
we
the helmet.
what are we doing?
Not even in just the helmet. If you do a dive roll, you still don't see the face. So I remember in the beta,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is a cool face tattoo." And then I got into the game and I was like, "Why? Why did I do that?"
Yeah. Why did I waste time?
And never. I spend 5 seconds making the girl as hot as I can, and then I click start.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
so
pick the
make it
hottest
look
character.
exactly like your wife.
Yep. Good, nice, dude. You're getting points. I'm sending you a tub of OMG podcast reaction. All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it did have a tumultuous development timeline. The game director and lead designers both were released from the company following the lawsuit in 2021. Just as recently as last year, the head game designer resigned from Blizzard. So it's been a wild, bumpy ride for the development of the game. But I think so far it looks like it's in a good place. You guys have any like specific thoughts of what you played when we got into the beta?
I really enjoyed the and again, I don't have a ton of experience with Diablo, but I really enjoyed like the random dungeons. As the story progresses, you find these little like lighted doors that you can go down through, so to speak, to complete this dungeon. I think I don't know. I thought it was really well done. The graphics are cool. The story, from what I gathered, again, I didn't get a ton of time. I think I ended at like level 21 or something, so I didn't get a ton of time playing it. But the story seems pretty cool. It seems like they're kind of diving into that. Not that I love clicking through dialogue and like trying to track the story, but overall, I thought it was good. Other than the lag issues, which I already said that we were kind of expecting in the beta.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Pickle?
Yeah. When I had seen kind of some of the same thoughts as him, being brand new to the game, I was pretty impressed at how much it drew me in and what made me want to keep playing. and develop the character. The one thing that it did do though was totally scare me to do hardcore because Swift, you remember when we got butchered?
Oh yes.
Because that just I just can't imagine that happening at like level your character is finally like level 60 or whatever the top level is, then all of a sudden fresh meat. And
Dude,
we just we got destroyed.
I don't know.
I never saw him.
I think you were either just not here yet or had the disconnect. But on Taze, I think they had power leveled me up to like 55 or something. And we go into this encounter, and I don't really know how to play the game yet. I'm new to Diablo 3, and I die almost instantly. And I had made a seasonal hardcore character, and they were like, "All right, cool. You gonna start over?" And I was like, "Nope, I'm done.
Nope.
I'm done with this."
Well, you and me went into the dungeon at like level 20, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then all of a sudden, we just get
And then we were
apart.
dead.
Gotta get good, dude. Bob and weave. The internet has ground to a halt, which is not. Hello.
Did we lose stroke?
Oh, I'm back. I'm getting 2 kilobytes a second.
Maybe he's back.
There we go.
There he is.
All right. Let's see. That's it. That's Diablo 4. Yeah, I had similar thoughts. I had a good time playing. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I played a lot with Will, which Will is like a Diablo. Like he loves Diablo. But when you play with Will, he's like, all right, come on, let's go. Let's go just do the quests. Kill. All right, next quest. Let's go. I'm like, dude, I want to like read the story a little bit, or like, I found this manuscript. I want to hear what the guy's saying. And Will's like, come on, let's go to the next quest. And you're just like holding on by the, it's hard, but you gotta catch up, keep up.
I feel like that's a part of, especially again, not super familiar, but I feel like that's a big part of Diablo 4. I actually really enjoyed the story that I got to sit and read and hear, because it is interesting. Again, I don't know where the lore comes from. Some guy just coming up with it. The guy that created Dungeons and Dragons is just writing the lore, but I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm excited to play with you guys. I'm excited because I know there's going to be a game that everyone is going to be on and trying at least. So the social gaming will be out there. But anyways.
Finally, which we haven't had for quite some time.
Oh, you know what kind of frustrated me about the Diablo 4? We were off sync of our storyline for like by maybe a quarter of a quest, and none of us could progress, or one of us couldn't progress. It was like Destiny again.
So the way
I
that
feel like that's
they've said that when the game launches, you'll literally be able to say, I don't care about the quest line right now, just let me play, and you'll be able to.
okay.
Well, that'll be good.
All right, gents. That's enough about Diablo. Hope you guys enjoyed the little walk down memory lane when it comes to Diablo, and hope you're as excited about the game as we are. Join us in the Discord, and we'll be there playing here in the next month.
In 10 days, there's the server stress test, which is another beta, I think.
Yeah, you were talking about that when you disconnected, and I'm a little confused because it seemed like they were already stress testing it when I couldn't get in for 2 hours, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, they didn't call it it's not a beta, so maybe it's like the final product.
Oh,
close
that
to
would be
it.
cool.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest. I'll probably play it. I already got it downloaded,
True.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's jump into what we played for the last 2 months, if anything. All right, Swift, lead us off, brother.
Okay. I told theStroke earlier, prior to hopping on, that this is the first time my computer has been on in about 3.5 weeks. I've had no drive to play video games for quite a while, and which is like, I don't know. For me, it ebbs and flows, right? Sometimes I'm into reading, sometimes I'm into TV, sometimes I'm into gaming. I don't have kids as an excuse, so I just have been lazy about gaming. Plus, we haven't been doing the podcast, so I think that's been kind of a driving factor as far as what I'm playing. Just trying to venture out, like we've talked about in previous episodes. So we already talked about Diablo 4. I played that. Enough on that. I actually got back into Elden Ring. I was telling these
Oh,
guys
baby.
a
Sheesh.
few weeks ago, I got back into Elden Ring. Turns out it's pretty tough to get back into
Oh yeah.
as far as controls and story and where I am and what I need to do next, what I've explored. So I kind of just wandered around for a little while and then got bored because it was kind of at the I guess crescendo of me on the downslope of video gaming the past month or so. So I haven't done too much as far as Elden Ring. So yeah, God of War Ragnarok, I got back into there since we played or recorded last. Have not beat it still. I need to.
Come on.
I know. I just haven't done anything.
Ugh.
But I have been playing some phone games, just some random ones. I don't know, racing games, survival games, all the things you get targeted for ads on Instagram. I've downloaded those and tried them out.
The one where you go left and right trying to kill zombies and multiply your
Yep.
guys and stuff.
Oh yeah. Played that one.
I think
I
those are
tried one
called-
of those and
are
it was
called
just
idle games.
Yeah.
idle games.
Yeah, because you
'Cause you're
only need
pooping?
one finger to play them. Like you literally could
Oh,
just be
yeah.
like brainlessly.
I literally briefed today to fly, and we got done because it was like, a top off ride, a BFM ride for one of our B coursers. And we got done. I had an hour to step, and I just stood at the ops desk and talked with our top three and was playing games on my phone the whole time with one
That's
hand.
That's the best feeling is when somebody's having a conversation with you and they're playing a phone game.
Yeah,
While
yeah.
while you talk
I
to
think
them.
I think people really appreciate it.
Yep. Especially wives.
Yeah.
Actually, Jen's been playing this, like, I want to call it I Spy mobile game, where she just finds things on this picture and then it, like, hooks her in by making her collect blue gems for 1 week, and then
Rupees.
in order to play the next round,
Rupees,
she
yeah.
has to have a certain number of yellow crystals. And
Dude, that's called Where's Waldo from our
Mobile
childhood,
game
where
cancer.
you would buy the book and just find Waldo.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
that, actually.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh.
that's been my last month plus. Not really much.
All right. Well, I think we'll go with ImPickleMatt next, since his probably is a rather short and distinguished list.
Get out of here. No. I played. Okay, so we saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, and my son wanted more Mario. So I went out and bought the new Super Mario World 3D game with the Baby Bowser one attached to it as well.
Nice.
You guys seen that?
Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury, yeah. Which is a fun game. It is very difficult to beat some levels when there's a toddler also playing with you as a different character.
I can
'Cause
see
he, like,
that.
he keeps
It is.
falling
I
off
want to
or
play that
dragging.
game with another adult.
I know. He like drags the camera away from me and I can't like beat the level for him. And then he'll yell at me to go down the green tube that we've already gone down. The green tunnel or whatever.
And those cat shines, baby.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun to play with him. And he's starting to learn all the names of the characters, which is cool. And he wants me to take him to see the movie again. So we've already seen it twice.
Nice.
So that's fun. That's the one with him. We played a little bit of Fall Guys together too. I'm still the Fry guy from like 3 years ago when I unlocked that costume. So he knows me as the Fry guy. And then I played some Heroes of the Storm with the bros. I think, yeah, Stroke, you were in there for a little bit. Me and Moist Gremlins played a little bit too. And then I've been playing on my own a little bit. and it's still fun. I like it. We should get in there because there's nothing else that I want to play until Breath of the Wild, or sorry, Zelda comes out.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, and then yeah,
I
whatever.
got the stroke to say it earlier.
Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah. Breath of the Kingdom.
Breath of the Kingdom. Yeah, and then I haven't played a whole lot of Steam Deck, so I probably need to bust that thing out and find a good game because I think last time we talked, I was playing Hades, but I beat the storyline because I beat Hades enough times to win, and I just wasn't super interested in the end game.
You're still just a god to me when it comes to Hades.
Yeah, no kidding.
A demigod. Hades is the real god in that
Oh yeah,
story.
I forgot.
Dude,
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier, but I'm trying to decide between PS5 and Steam/PC to get the new Jedi or Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And the Stroke mentioned, well, if you buy it on Steam, you can play it on your Steam Deck, and that kind of tipped me in the Steam direction rather than the PS5 direction.
Did it get good reviews on the Steam Deck? Like it plays okay?
It plays fine. It eats up your battery. You'll probably have to play with it plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much every AAA game. But yeah, I could see me playing that. I don't know. I did like the first Star Wars game, but I don't feel like it right now. Maybe if I get in a Star Wars kick with like one of the TV shows or something, I will.
Just watch The Mandalorian again, and then you'll be all about.
Did you watch the newest season, by the way?
Yes.
No spoilers, but I was kind of let down by that.
Really?
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
One button push foiled that plan.
Oh yeah, true.
Wow.
That was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like it built up to basically nothing.
I stand by Andor as the best spinoff on Disney Plus.
Truth.
On Disney Plus, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Cool. Does that round out your games played there, ImPickleMatt?
Oh, and the Baby Jedi cartoon just released all their episodes that my son was looking forward to.
Oh yeah,
if you're
those are
looking for
actually
good
kind of
Star
cool.
Wars.
They're kind of
Yeah,
like
the little-
the Spider-Man ones.
Yeah, the little shorts.
Yeah, I like those actually.
I think that's it. I didn't play anything else on my PC, and yeah, it was just Nintendo Switch with my son, and then a little bit of Here's the Storm.
Nice, nice. Well, let's see. I'll go next. Played some Diablo 4. We already talked about Overwatch 2. I've arrived at the conclusion that I arrived at a couple months ago. I was playing pretty hardcore in the last season. I got up to gold in damage, gold 5. And then this next season fired up. I literally just bought the battle pass, and then I'm playing a game, and I get killed like 5 or 6 times in a row with maybe getting one kill. And I just go, I'm not having any fun. And I turned it off and uninstalled it, and I'm just over it. So I don't know.
You
It's like
uninstalled
COD.
it too.
It's like
Yeah.
COD back in the day.
Ugh.
Why am I playing this? I'm having zero fun.
Yeah, I was just
It's
like,
good. It's good you had the awareness to realize that it was making you miserable.
yeah, it's like literally wasting my video game time that I barely get. So I'm done. Cool. Right now in the Gibson household, all things baseball. So I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show with Liam.
Nice.
He always plays the Texas Rangers. I always play the Anaheim Angels, or the LA Angels of Anaheim. And no, I have been trying to teach Liam the concept of a force out for so long. And we played 2 games of MLB The Show, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I can get this guy out here because there's a guy behind him on the next base. I was like, yeah, I've been telling you that for a long time.
Yeah, dude.
So sometimes I
That's
just think
awesome.
it just clicks because they can see it in action, see the bird's eye view, and it's just much harder to comprehend when they're down in it on the field, you know? So it's been...
So what, can you guys multiplayer on that? Like you're playing Liam?
Yeah, I play against him.
Are you just kicking the shit out of him to
No.
teach him lessons?
I really want him to like baseball, so I've let him win every time.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you know what I learned about? This is another random sidebar. Have you ever heard of the Savannah bananas?
Negative.
They play something called Banana Ball, and it's like Harlem Globetrotter style baseball. Their tickets are always sold out everywhere. You should look them up. I bet Liam would love it.
Savannah Bananas. What do
They
they
have
do
like
that's like crazy?
they have 9 rules that turn like you can't bunt, you can't step out of the box. There's a 2-hour time limit, and then you win innings, and you don't score runs. You win the entire inning,
Oh,
and then the
It's like
batters,
match play in golf.
yeah, and then batters can steal first.
what the?
What?
If a fan catches the foul ball, it's an out because they become part of the team, basically.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
it's cool.
That
Look up
is.
Savannah Bananas. They've been going on for a while, and they're just like the Harlem Globetrotters, basically. But they sell out everywhere they go, so it's pretty popular.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out.
I gotta go check on my kiddo. See,
Okay, no worries.
right.
Sweet. All right. This is gonna be the year of beating games for me. So I beat Final Fantasy 2. My final review of that is it was cool, a little bit better than the first one. It dragged on at the end. The last dungeon / level was terrible. But I finally beat it. And then I just started Final Fantasy 3, and it is much better than the first 2. Got a lot more going on for it, a lot smoother to play. It's the first Final Fantasy that introduces jobs, like in Final Fantasy 14, where you had a job. So that's cool. Looking forward to getting back in there. I play that on my Steam Deck. That's like my go-to-bed game.
Is it? It's much better because of the graphics, or just the gameplay, or?
So I think if I had to guess, you can't really tell because the graphics are the same because they're all remasters, and so they basically have the same graphics. But I think that this game was on Super Nintendo, or the previous 2 were on NES.
Got it.
So it just feels like a much better overall game. But I just started,
Yeah.
so I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Played some HOTS with the bros. Had a good time there. And some Fall Guys. And I, like PickleMatt's son, wanted some more Mario after the Mario movie. So I fired up Super Mario World on my Steam Deck. Had a great time. So
I love that. I still need to figure out how to do the emulator thing.
yeah, we need to talk about that for the Discord. I'll work on that this week. I know I've said that before, but I will.
Yeah, you've been busy, you know.
I promise. Sweet. So that's my gaming week, and that's the gaming week of all of us on One More Game. And that about round out the show. PickleMatt's gone, and he's just advertising his Razer chair to us. But anything you want to say to everyone before we take off for the night?
Dude, I don't know. I know I messaged you guys about it, but the only thing that I kind of came up with, because we're talking about Diablo, and I haven't really played / explored Diablo all that much, but my sister got me these for Christmas. Again, I don't know if I've advertised them on the podcast, but ImPickleMatt has talked about them before. If you don't have these and you're a gamer, you need to get you some of these gamer chopsticks. They just wrap around your 2 fingers, and you can continue gaming and eat your snacks, your chips, whatever you want. So I haven't actually opened them and tried them, but 10 of 10 would recommend.
Would recommend. No no orange Cheetos on your Xbox Series S controller.
That's right.
Very nice. Well, I do have one cool thing to mention before we take off. It's going to be probably about a month, maybe 2, but we have a huge giveaway coming up for anyone interested in getting involved in PC gaming for the first time. So stay tuned for more announcements about this, but just to give you a little teaser, we've gotten to an agreement with Viral Tech, one of our sponsors, who make the most badass computers that you've seen in your life, and we're going to be making a One More Game themed PC and giving that thing away probably in about 2 months, but I'll keep you guys posted. So make sure you follow our all of our socials, because the winner is going to be a prerequisite is going to be a highly involved community member. We're not just going to give this away to anyone who just stops in to try to win stuff. But Viral Tech PC, get yourself one of them. Use OMG
Didn't-
Pod 10 as a code if you're on their website. But let me show you, before we go, I just want to show you kind of some stuff that they build so you can see what you can get excited about.
Didn't they make Tifu's most recent computer?
They did. Yes, they sure did.
Yeah, big sure, and he loves it.
So yeah, check out some of these things, and man, like
Those are so cool.
it's just a piece of art, and we're gonna work with them to make an OMG inspired, purple and dark purple and blue highlights and all kinds of cool. So keep your ears peeled for more announcements on the One More Game podcast viral tech PC giveaway. All right, PickleMatt, what do you got before we head out for the night?
I don't know.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine.
I'm a little
No
shell
worries.
shocked from a crying child.
Yeah, they do that. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting us, even though we've been gone for a month or more. So we'll be getting back into the swing of things, and hopefully get this internet thing figured out. But who knows how that goes here in South Carolina. All right, guys, for those listeners who want to catch us live, you can chat with us while we chat about video games, maybe get a shout out on the air. We stream every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/OMG podcast. Join us, and we'd love to have you in the chat and in the Discord.
Every is in quotation marks for now.
Every. Cool, guys. We also have been known to give out subscriber gifts, 3D printed gamer tags, or all kinds of stuff. So, stick around for more giveaways and support to you guys who continue to support us. You can also find us at OMG_podcast GG on Twitter and Instagram, and that's where you're going to find pictures of our PC giveaway once we've got it in the works, as well as announcements on how to win that thing. You can find me, Swift, and PickleMatt streaming at our own respective Twitch channels from time to time, and by that I mean definitely not recently, but that's okay. And you can find our other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or omgpodcast.podbean.com, or anywhere else you might find their podcasts. All right, before we go, I'll leave you with one final thought, as I always do. Just because you have to grow up doesn't mean you have to stop gaming. Game on, gamers, and we'll see you on the next episode of One More Game. PickleMatt, Swift, see ya!
See you, buddy.
See ya.